Your landing page is costing you money because clicks don't pay the bills, conversions do. Most landing pages don't convert because they're built for you, not your buyers. In this episode of Undone Marketing, we break down the brutal truth about why visitors bounce and the 7 steps to fix it. Real strategies, quick wins, more leads. Let's begin.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to really dig into the information you've shared and pull out the key insights. Today, we're tackling email automation. It's constantly changing, isn't it? Now, we all kind of know it's powerful. A real growth engine saves a ton of time for marketers, maybe more than ever here in 2025. But here's the thing our sources keep bringing up, the big question. Why do so many email automations just fall flat? Turns out they're often just, thrown together too fast, without really thinking about the plan or understanding what the customer is actually going through. What our research really hammered home is this. If your automation isn't designed with real intention, it's not just like underperforming, it's actually costing you big time.
That's exactly right. And that's what we want to unpack here today. Our mission really is to lay out the 5 foundational steps, the things that really make the difference between sequences that convert and, well, sequences that just get deleted. And what's important to get for 2025, even if you think you've got this down, is that things are just more demanding now. You need more advanced personalization, truly behavior-driven stuff. We're really talking about moving past the basics to what genuinely works now.
Okay. But before we get into those steps, let's maybe address the elephant in the room. You might be sitting there thinking, okay, short form video is everywhere. Social media grabs all the attention. Why are we still so focused on email automation in 2025? It's a fair question. Yeah. And the answer we found isn't just it works, it's why. Email is something you own, right? It's permission-based. You get this direct line, no algorithm changing things up like on social. And the numbers, they really back this up. Email still beats everything else for lead gen. Get this, a 2025 Litmus report. It shows email brings in an incredible $42 ROI for every single dollar spent. $42.
Yeah, 42. That's a return that's just staggering. Hard to match elsewhere consistently. Yeah. And building on that, Campaign Monitor's data for 2025, it shows automated campaigns don't just work, they generate 320% more revenue compared to emails you send out manually. 320%. Yeah. That's huge.
Wow.
And it brings up a really important point from the research. 87%, almost 90% of purchases that come from automation, they come from just 3 types. Your welcome sequences, those abandoned cart reminders, and browse abandonment flows. Just those 3.
So, okay, if you haven't got those 3 basic ones running, that's literally sales walking out the door. That's money left on the table. It really shows where the immediate focus should be, doesn't it? Yep. All right, let's jump into step 1 then. The first foundational piece. Our sources kept hitting this point. The key word for email automation success in 2025 is precision. Think about it. Those generic blast to everyone messages, they just don't work anymore. People expect relevance. They can smell untargeted automation a mile off. It's not just about getting past spam filters. Your users are filtering you out themselves if it's not relevant. So the very first thing you have to do is get super clear on the goal for each sequence.
Precisely. Each sequence needs one single laser-focused objective. What do you try to do? Onboard a new customer, maybe re-engage someone who's gone quiet, or push urgency for a sale. When you know that one goal, then every single piece, the subject line, the email copy, the call to action, every follow-up, it all lines up perfectly towards getting that one outcome. It stops feeling random and starts feeling, guided.
Right. And that leads straight into segmentation, which isn't just like a nice to have anymore. It's your strategic edge. In 2025, just segmenting by age or where someone lives, that's frankly not enough. The sources really push segmenting by behavior and intent. What are people actually doing? Like, did someone click a specific product link but then didn't buy? Did they grab your free guide but never booked that call? Or maybe it's a loyal customer who's stopped opening your emails. These actions tell you so much more than basic demographics. But hang on, is there a risk there, like over-segmenting, especially if you're a smaller business?
That's a really good question. Okay. And yeah, it's a valid concern. For smaller lists, look, the idea isn't to have hundreds of tiny little segments. That's not practical. It's about focusing on the most meaningful behaviors, the ones that signal real intent or show a clear need for a specific next step. And this often connects to what we call zero-party data. That's the gold mine, really. Information people give you willingly. Their preferences, what products they like, their biggest pain points. When you use that kind of data, that intent data, to tailor your flows, the impact is pretty dramatic. Statista 2025 data showed us that this kind of personalization, it can boost open rates by over 26% and click-through rates by more than 14%, just for being more relevant.
26% open lift. That's huge. Okay, moving to step 2. Our sources basically said this is a step everyone skips, and it's probably the main reason so many automations feel, well, disconnected or just plain annoying. You have to remember, automation isn't just about firing off emails. It's about guiding someone through a process, a journey. If you haven't actually mapped out that journey first, your emails are almost guaranteed to feel random.
Exactly. Mapping it out means really figuring out, okay, where does someone enter this sequence? Was it a form fill, a product page view, a download? Then what path did they take based on what they do next? Click a link, ignore the email, and crucially, what happens at the end? Did they convert? Or, just as important, what if they just drift away? You need a plan for that too. We saw a case where someone skipped this. Their welcome sequence sent a returning customer discount code to brand new leads. It was chaos, total mess.
Oh, wow. Okay, so how do you actually do this mapping?
Visually.
Yeah.
The sources strongly recommended using tools like Miro or maybe Figma. You can literally draw it out like a flowchart. You know, if user clicks link A, send email 1. If no click after 2 days, send email 2. Map out the decision points, the time delays between emails, even the backup plans if someone doesn't convert. It's like choreographing the whole experience, really.
Yeah.
And that leads to maybe the most critical part of mapping. Design for real life. Most people, they won't follow your perfect straight line path. Life gets in the way. They hesitate. They bounce around. So planning for those detours, those non-linear journeys, that's absolutely essential if you want decent engagement and smooth conversions. If you only design for the ideal path, you're building something fragile. It looks nice, but it breaks easily.
Makes sense. Okay, step 3. This is about the emails themselves, getting them opened, read, and crucially keeping them out of the spam folder. Because let's face it, in 2025, inboxes are noisy, really noisy, especially with all the AI-generated stuff flying around. So how do you stand out? The answer from our sources was surprisingly straightforward. Be clear, be human, be specific.
Right. And it starts with the subject line. That's your first impression, maybe your only one. Forget the hypey cliches, the clickbait gimmicks. They just don't land anymore. Focus on clarity, relevance, maybe a little human curiosity.
Yeah.
What was really interesting was the data on A/B testing subject lines. HubSpot's 2025 numbers show it can lift open rates by up to 49%.
49% just from the subject line.
Huge potential lift just from optimizing that one little line of text.
Okay. And then there's the spam filter hurdle. They seem to be getting tougher, right? More sophisticated.
Oh.
Our sources gave some pretty concrete tips here. First, ditch the classic spam trigger words you know. Act now, guaranteed, risk-free. They just scream spam. Don't shout with excessive punctuation or all cap PS. Keep the formatting clean, simple. Too many images or complex HTML can be a red flag too. And the basics always include a physical mailing address and a super easy unsubscribe link. It's not just about rules, it's about trust.
Absolutely. And beyond the words, the design is critical. Over 70% of emails now get opened on mobile. So mobile-first design, it's not optional anymore. It's essential. I mean, short paragraphs, buttons big enough to tap easily, images that load fast, properly optimized. And one thing you absolutely cannot skip, test your deliverability. Use tools, Mail Meteor, Glock apps, whatever your email platform offers, to check if your emails are actually hitting the inbox, not landing in junk. It's like preventative maintenance for your whole system.
Good point. All right, step 4. And the sources were unanimous on this. Non-negotiable, absolutely critical. Just think about the damage when something goes wrong in an automation after it's live. A broken link, the wrong name merge tag, an email firing at the wrong time. It's not just one mistake. It could be thousands of errors hitting your subscribers' inboxes. That high first name fail, or a link that goes nowhere. It kills trust instantly.
Exactly. So the testing needs to be intense, almost obsessive, really. You have to try and simulate every possible path someone could take through that sequence. Test it on different devices, iPhone, Android, different email clients, Gmail, Outlook. Make sure it looks right everywhere. Click every single link. Check every button. Verify all that conditional logic, the if this, then that stuff. Make sure it works exactly like you planned. And double, triple check those personalization fields. That first name error, totally avoidable with good testing.
Yeah, my advice, echoing the sources here, is use your platform's preview tool. Or set up a sandbox, a test environment. Walk through it like you're a brand new subscriber. And seriously, get another person to look at it. A second pair of eyes, maybe even a third. Make it standard procedure. Because those small errors, they might seem minor, but they add up. They really can tank performance and just erode that trust you've built. It's quality control pure and simple.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay, finally, step 5. And this one comes with a mantra. If you're not measuring, you're not marketing. Our sources really drilled this home. You have to define what success looks like upfront and make sure your tracking is set up properly from day one, not later, day one.
Right. Defining success means picking the right metrics for that specific automation's goal.
Yeah.
So your open rate, that tells you if the subject line worked. Click-through rate, CTR, shows if the content was compelling, if people want to know more. Conversion rate, that's the big one, usually. Did they actually do the thing you wanted? Buy the product, sign up, download. And don't forget the unsubscribe rate. That's your warning sign. Are you annoying people? Did you miss the mark completely? You need to know that. Without tracking these, you're just guessing. Flying blind.
And for tracking that conversion, that click, with real precision, you absolutely need UTM parameters in your links. Think of UTMs as little tracking tags. So when someone clicks, your analytics tool, like Google Analytics or your CRM, knows exactly which email campaign, even which specific button brought them there. The sources also stress setting a regular rhythm for checking performance, weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever makes sense. But you need to actually look at the data, spot the trends, figure out what's working and what's not.
Yeah, ultimately, optimization isn't luck. It doesn't just happen. It's a cycle. Consistent tracking, analyzing what you see, and then adapting, making changes based on the data. If you connect this back, it means your email automation isn't this static thing you just set up and forget. It's alive. It needs ongoing attention and refinement to keep working well.
So let's wrap this deep dive up. The big takeaway today. Email automation isn't magic. It's not some easy shortcut. Our sources make it really clear it's a discipline, it's a system. But when it's designed well, built on these foundations we talked about, it can consistently nurture leads, close sales, and build real long-term loyalty.
And here's that quick checklist again, based on everything we looked at for 2025. 1. Define a super clear goal. 2. Segment with intention using behavior. 3. Map the real customer journey, not just the ideal one. 4. Write clear, human emails designed for mobile first. 5. Test everything rigorously before launch. And 6. Build in reporting from the absolute start.
Get those steps right, and you're not just sending emails anymore. You're actually building a scalable, reliable marketing engine, something that works for you 24/7, building relationships, driving results, even while you're sleeping. So here's something to think about until next time. Which of these foundational steps, which one might you be overlooking right now in your own efforts? And what impact could that blind spot actually be having on your results? Definitely something to mull over.
That's a wrap for this episode of Undone Marketing. If you liked what you heard, don't stop here. Check out our other episodes for more straight takes on today's hottest marketing topics. New episodes dropping weekly, so hit follow and stay ahead of the game. Got a question or topic you want us to tackle? Find us online and let's keep the conversation going. See you next time.